Sean Cowley here, Unblinded, co-creating breakthroughs and dreams, crushing fear and distortion. And it's one iconic athlete after another. But this is our first NBA Hall of Famer, world champion for the Knicks. I was only 3 years old when it happened. I don't have direct memories of it, and we need another world championship. So I think we should bring back Earl the Pearl Monroe. Sir, it's an honor and a privilege to have you here. And, when we talked about this evening and the giving back and the American Foundation for the Blind, Mr. Monroe, what's on your heart about that?
Well, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think that it's certainly overlooked, and certainly, being a part of this is one of the things that we do as retired players. We try and give back. We try and do as much as we can, and certainly this has the kind of legs, so to speak, that you want to be involved in. So I'm just happy to be a part of this, and hopefully it'll be a very, very successful evening.
No, well, thank you, sir. And I read a quote from you, which I loved, and I think it has a lot to do with how we could succeed in life, in business. And what you said is, when I have the ball, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. So therefore, the defenders, I'm sure, have no idea what I'm going to do with it. And I think what that stands for is just the ability to innovate. You're such an innovative genius on the court. In my opinion, greatest backcourt in the history of the NBA. Absolutely extraordinary and such a leader. And, could you speak into for a second for people out there, Mr. Monroe, just innovation? Like when you got the ball, you just knew the outcome was to put the ball in the basket, whether it was you or somebody on the team, and you were going to find a way. What drove you and your innovative creativity?
Well, I think, I have a desire to be successful. And one of the things in a nutshell, as a basketball player, certainly as an offensive basketball player, it's about putting the ball in the hoop. And the idea is how you put it in the hoop. Some people can just shoot it and put it in the hoop, but I like to have the adventure of being able to put it in the hoop. And I think that's what a lot of people really kind of got into me about, is the fact that I've put it in the hoop in a certain way where it was entertaining. And certainly being an entertainer in the game itself, puts it on a different level. And again, it's all about results. And the name of the game is having the results that are going to be meaningful. And hopefully, like this evening, the things that we do here this evening will be very, very meaningful for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. Change that rate of unemployment for the blind. Helen Keller, 100th anniversary time capsule. And just two more quick questions. One is, what was it like to be an icon, world champion in the early 1970s in New York, a time of political change? There was just so much happening. What were those days like in New York in the 1970s as a leader, a champion, and just all the things that were happening? What was it like back then?
Well, first of all, being at anything in New York is just the epitome. Like you said, there was change. The Vietnam War was just getting over with. There were more people out in the streets, and it was just more of a very gay kind of time. We enjoyed the things that we did, and we did it with with a light heart, so to speak. Um, you know, Being in New York is one of the greatest things in the world. And I think that if you're an athlete in New York and you have any type of success in New York people gravitate to you. And like you said, in the 70s, it was unbelievable.
So what I'm hearing, Mr. Nick Lowry, who is source for so much, and he is, when Malcolm Gladwell talks about mavens, connectors, and salespeople, Nick Lowry is a super connector of leaders and icons. And thank you, Nick, for the incredible introduction to Mr. Earl the Pearl Monroe, world champion Hall of Famer. And by the way, at one point voted top 50 NBA basketball players of all time. Nick, super grateful. And would you take to like the hardwood the night of the gala and like maybe you and
Buddy,
Earl Pearl
I
take
had
like
some moves. I mean, my nickname was Havlicek because I was the white guy that come in. I could run. I ran for days. And I could hit the open shot. Probably not as good a rebounder as I might have been. But growing up in D.C., where Earl started with the Baltimore Bullets, I can think the only person I can think of that maybe took the baton from Earl the Pearl Monroe was maybe Magic Johnson. Earl was the standard of magic and what he calls an adventure on the court. And so he took the imagination of every NBA fan of what was possible to a new level. He was Shakespeare on the court. And I am so honored that you're going to join us, brother. And frankly, we needed an NBA superstar. We could not have done better with you.
Absolutely. And since Earl the Pearl, I believe this to be correct, there hasn't been a Knicks World Championship. You were a part of the last one. Is that right, sir?
Yeah, and I guess that's why people still remember me.
That's it, right? The winners write the history books. So immensely, immensely grateful for everything. And Nick, I couldn't thank you more. So Mr. Monroe, we look forward to just a few days away. That's where Earl the Pearl, world champ, NBA Hall of Famer is going to be. Where will you be on Thursday night, September 23rd? We're immensely grateful, sir. And all the magic, all the things are right there in front of us. The challenge is we're all blind, sighted or not, and just learning to see. So thank you.
Hey, well, I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everyone right there.